Back to Inside Sources. Today we are opening the show with a discussion on some of the rather worrying dimensions to insecurity that we have seen lately in our country. We've heard from the governor of Plateau State, Mr. Caleb Mofwang, and we've also heard from the governor of Borno, raising quite a bit of concern. For instance, the governor of Plateau called what is happening in Plateau a genocide. To join me in that important discussion today, I have a leading Nigerian Christian leader, a cleric that is based in Jos, Plateau State, but that hails from Borno, is the president of El-Buba Outreach Ministries International. I'd like to welcome two Inside Sources, joining us virtually, Prophet Issa El-Buba. Prophet, good to see you on Inside Sources.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure joining you today, and thank you for doing a great work. And Nigerians, I want to thank you for joining us to have this discussion.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So what we try to do on Inside Sources is to look at the future of the country. And, you know, I want to put it to you very directly that now we have a governor, a sitting governor, an official of state, confirming and making a declaration that what is happening in parts of the country, specifically in Plateau State, is a genocide. What do you think that says about the future of our country? Let's open up the discussion that way, Prophet.
Well, I will tell you it's a big concern because just like the governor said, is a genocide. And it's not something that just happened today. It's something that has been happening with several attacks in the past and recently of what happened on the Plateau. And so, and you know very well that Plateau is a cosmopolitan city. It houses virtually all Nigerians. And if anything goes wrong with Plateau, everything goes wrong with Nigeria. And so with what is going on, if there is no intervention, there is a bleak future that this country will stand together and this country will be together. So we are actually in a very, very serious time in the history of this country. For instance, of the recent attack, we've seen that in the past. We've followed this in the past. Some of us have even gone to the funeral where we buried in Dogonahawa, over 500 people were massacred, and their communities were displaced. And then the people who attacked came and occupied. We had to, let me use the word, among ourselves, put together all that was required to make sure we repossess some of this land. Now, in some of the communities that were attacked, again on the Plateau, over 60 of those communities, the people who attacked those communities displaced the people, killed the people, displaced the people, destroyed the properties of the people, and then, this is the amazing thing about it, now occupy those communities. So, and this tells you a lot about what these people are up to. Now, I can give you, backdating it on several years, how they would come into a community, invade the community, kill the people, displace the people, destroy their property, and take over the place, and they start grazing. And these people it's not that they are not known, please. These people are known, they are there. Some time ago, I raised during the past administration, and I'll be very honest on this. I'm not somebody who tried to double tongue. No. When the past administration, I'll be very honest with you, these people felt it was their government. They felt they were being supported and protected. And you see them move with arms. I raised up, let me use the word, an alarm. I call on the then president to speak to his own people in his own dialect, even though I know he doesn't speak much of the dialect, but that is his own people. They felt that this is their own man, and so they can do whatever they feel like doing. And so they come in, attack, And then when they attack, they clear. In one of the communities, like when there are over 200 people, we are killed. Some of the dead bodies, we pull them out of the wells. And we had to begin to resettle the people and all of that, and then mobilize local vigilante, because these are not just the local headers that we used to know, but these are Fulani terrorists, that target communities. There are the Fulanis that are the local dwellers. But I'll tell you also that when these terrorists come in, they connive with some of the locals. And so they give them the information. They come in from outside and they invade. But because they have a program, because they have a plan, because they have a mandate, and that mandate is that they must occupy and send the owners of the land away.
We are not saying that, this is a problem of the local Fulanis, because like you said too, a criminal is a criminal. And you are right that, quite a lot of people, not only you yourself, that thought that in the past administration, even people inside the administration, people who served in the Buhari administration, also share the same sentiment that you've shared, that it will be a good opportunity, that in fact it was a good opportunity having President Buhari, who is a Fulani leader, to be able to solve the problem. I think he tried in his own ways, but not many people think that, or put differently, many people thought he could have done better. So, and that is why I want to raise this question: that what do we have to do better? What do we have to do to change this trajectory? The governor, and you have also confirmed it, said that there are communities that are now going on that have been seized. The people have been displaced, and you have these intruders taking over the space. About 60 communities. Now, that is not a joke by any means that, or any way we argue this point. So, but my question is, in your own view, what has to change in the way we manage this as a people, both government and the communities and all of us? What has to change, Prophet?
Let me say this, just like you said, my grandmother was a Fulani woman, and also I have in me my grandparents. My grandfather is a Kanuri, so we have a mix. Now, the fact is that it's not like I'm criminalizing my own tribe, because I'm a grandfather of 8 grandchildren. So my grandchildren, they also carry that gene. But the fact is that, let's take, for instance, what is going on in Borno, in my home state in Borno, the Boko Haram.
Yes.
80% of the people that are involved in Boko Haram are my Kanuri people. And that is the reason why our people are being sincere, that look, this thing is our own people that are doing this harm to our own people. That's why you see that the Boko Haram thing has not been able to spread up, to come over to Plateau, to come over to Oshun and all of that. Everything is just there within the northeast, especially in Borno and Yobe, partly Adamawa. But then if you look at it, when the JT the young men took the step to deal with it, you saw that they were able to deal with these Boko Haram boys until political issues again started coming in people who are making money from all of this evil. Okay? But if you look at it, they were able to drive away these Boko Haram boys, clean up Maiduguri, reclaim territories that were lost. Now, let's come to this invasion that is going on. This is Fulani terrorists. It's just like what is going on in the southeast with IPOB. I mean, the 90% of the people that are doing the sit-at-home and the killing in the southeast, they are Igbos. That does not mean that the entire nationhood of the Igbo tribe are all into it.
Right.
But we have to call a spade a spade. Right now in this country, and I'm being sincere, that 80% of the terrorists that are displacing people in their own community as headers, they come in as headers. The language they speak, the common language they speak is Fulani. not Kanuri,
but
not Igbo,
but Prophet,
not Yoruba.
Yeah, but you know.
Okay, so when you see that, if you want to deal with something, you have to face the reality. Okay, this is what is there. So now, where are these people coming from? What is their mission? For instance, you look at it in September 2023, it is suspected Fulani herdsmen attacked Kulben community in Mangu, all right, resulting in 10 deaths. In November 2022, Fulani militias killed 16 people in Bokos local government. This Bokos that several people were killed recently, all right? And then leaving hundreds of people homeless. In 2018, Fulani herdsmen attacked several villages here on the plateau, which I told you if I'm going to mention the name of those villages. In April 14 to 15, 2018, 32 persons were killed. If you go to the T people in Benue, by these headers. Again, in Nasarawa, you find that certain number of people were killed by these headers. So when you go to Taraba, you are finding the same similar people, similar method. You go to Nasarawa, similar people, similar method. You go to Zamfara, similar people, similar method. You go to the killing that took place in Sokoto, similar people, similar method. But especially Benue and Plateau, similar. They displace the people, destroy their property, and then take over. So if we are going to deal with it, these people are there already. So why don't we mobilize? Because it's a war. When people have come to wipe away your citizen, do you now sit down to negotiate with them? You don't negotiate with people who have come to wipe away your citizen, but rather you wipe away these people who have come to wipe away your people. Now nobody can come after me as a Fulani man. Nobody can come after other of my children or my cousins who are Fulanis and attack them because they don't do it. We are Fulani people. We are one of the most educated people in the North. We are one of the most entrepreneurship people in the North. We are into political things, knowledgeable people. But you find this small group of people that are tarnishing our image, tarnishing our lineage and our tribe. And the best way is to stand up against them, empower the military and the locals. The best way to deal with these people is the locals should be involved to deal with these people who have come to clear their own land and take over their own land. We had 200 people were killed. I went there. I saw what happened. And these people were just a few meters away. I mobilized the locals. We prayed over it. We buried the dead. And after burying the dead, we started reconstructing the villages. Okay? We reconstructed the village. But the beautiful thing was that the government partnered with us, with the armed forces, and those people were sent away. So right now, that community has been saved. They have never come back to that community again because the locals have been trained to defend themselves. So if we're going to deal with the issue, like the issue of the Fulani militia, then the community must be allowed, backed up by the government, with all that is required to displace them. I'm telling you, sir, it wouldn't take us 1 week to deal with these people. They are there. Just give the locals the right, liberty, and then the backing of the military to move in there. Take sentiments out of it. Okay? Oh, the international community may think this, but these are people that have declared war. They have declared war on your people. I mean, within the past 1 month, we have lost over 100 people. Millions of families have been displaced. People have been displaced just because of a few group of criminals. And these criminals are terrorists. Let's call them as they are. So if you're going to deal with terrorists, how will America deal with terrorists? How will Great Britain deal with terrorists? How will Ukraine or Russia deal with terrorists? If they will not allow terrorists to occupy just a small space in their nation, why should we as a nation allow terrorists to be expanding their territory. Benue bloodletting, Plateau bloodletting, Zamfara bloodletting, Borno bloodletting. No, I believe we have the solution. And that solution is for the government now to be serious and honest. Call a spade, and go after these people and wipe them away. That's the only answer.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Let me just follow up, to say that some of the sentiments that you have expressed, in terms of the fact that, these people can be identified, just like when we're talking about HIPOP, in the southeast, we're talking about Igbos, but we're not saying that it is the entirety of the Igbos. As a matter of fact, when you talk about, the Odudua activists in Yoruba land, people like Sunday Igboho, we're not talking about the entire group. And it's important to know that anyone that does a crime, should be confronted. And I think, even President Buhari, at least in terms of his public statement, asserted as much as that. What has happened, in my view, and then I'll let you comment, is that we have not been able as a people, especially the elites, to reach a consensus among all of us as to how to deal with this problem. For instance, just a few days ago, the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, issued a statement on the latest killings in Plateau to say that he has advised the Governor Mufwang on what to do. I wanted to ask you, what's your own take? I mean, a lot of people are saying that, well, look, Mr. President, we don't know whether this is a question of you advising the governor. You control the reins. The buck stops at your table. Prophet, what's your take on that?
The first thing, he's the commander-in-chief. Yes, I appreciate Governor Mufwang is the state governor. He's the chief security officer of the state. But I tell you the truth. There is this thing that the state governors are limited. If it is left like, okay, I give you all the powers, go ahead and do what you need to do, the governors will do what they need to do. They will engage their community. But this one that you have to wait for a command, the commandants on ground will have to wait for command from Abuja. The president is the commander-in-chief. If he comes down on the plateau himself, for instance, since this thing has happened, the president has not visited. He should come down himself. I expected that the president at this point will actually come down here, even for a few hours, instruct that this community should be taken over in 24 hours. The military, they have the capability. The military, they have the capacity. With all that we have got, the Tecanos and all of that, these people are there. They have sophisticated weapons. They are there. So it's not something that is invisible. If we start with these 60 communities, I'm telling you, this thing will stop. Then the next thing is empower the community. Allow the community to lead the fight. Because the community, they are the ones who own their community. Invaders have come. They are wiping them away. Now, it's not political, being politically, let me use the word, correct. But it's standing on what is right. So the first thing is let the president come down and give a state of emergency. The same thing they did in Rivers. If the president can do what he did in Rivers without even a fight, without any soul being killed in Rivers, and he declared the state of emergency, if he can declare the state of emergency on security, we will get this matter done in 72 hours. Whether it is Plateau or Borno, my state. The governor is crying now. It's because the locals have not been allowed to deal with these terrorists. I have said this over and over. Terrorists don't repent. They can surrender because they have been overpowered. But if you want to deal with terrorists, clear terrorists out. Wipe them out, or else you will continue to waste your resources trying to secure your people, and you can never secure your people. That's why America don't treat terrorists lightly. They deal with them. So mine is President Bola Tinubu should show the leadership, not just speaking to the governor. Give the backing. Come down here. See the people for yourself that have been displaced. Then instruct the the chief of defense staff and all his apparatus moved to Plateau. These 60 communities reclaimed them in 72 hours. And we will see that the land will be recovered, and these terrorists, we can handle them. Nigeria has the capability. We have all that it takes to do it. These are the same people displacing people in Kogi, displacing people right now in the southwest, invading our forests, invading our mountains, and then we're taking them lightly.
I wanted to also observe that something happened in Adamawa State. You know, I think it started around 2016 there about the case of Mr. Sunday Jackson, you know, who was actually in his farm, was attacked by an herdsman. You know, he defended himself. In the process, the herdsman died, and the matter went all the way to the Supreme Court, and is currently on death row. But the good thing that happened, Prophet, is that the father, who is a Fulani man himself, the father of the victim, has now said that, look, I don't want this guy to be killed. That tells you that our people, the ordinary people, be they Fulani, be they any part of the country, Igbos, the minorities in Adamawa State, in Borno State, the Kanuris, everybody, the regular Nigerian, they are not interested in many of these differences. Because that man, Ado Baruwo, has supported the clemency plea for Sunday Jackson. It was his son, you know, and these are Fulani people, that was the victim. And he said, you know what? I support the clemency for Sunday Jackson. Sunday Jackson should go free. That tells us something, that the people, the ordinary people, are ready to be won. It is up to, just like you said, our political leaders to step up and deal with this situation, especially knowing that many of these terrorists are foreigners. I give you the last word, Prophet.
I will take what you just said. I give you an example. A few months ago, some of the headers came into my farm. And when they came into my farm, by God's grace, we were able to chase them out. We, together with some of my Fulani brothers and sisters who are settling around my farm. And then we were able to go after these terrorists who are coming in the name of Fulani militias. You see, the fact is this: we as a nation, we must stop this tribal thing. We must stop making certain people feel like they are more Nigerian than every other Nigerian. We are all Nigerians. And the only way we can solve our problem is when we are honest to ourselves. Like what happened to Jackson. I have said this. I have promoted self-defense. Sir, how can you always sit down in your house? Somebody will come, just like what happened a few hours ago in Basa here on the Plateau. Virtually a whole family was wiped out. A whole family. Even a little child of 4 years old. This is a few hours ago. And so when we try to, let me use the word, glorify certain people and then demean certain people, like what happened to Jackson, I've said this: the Supreme Court missed it, because we have been crying out for self-defense. We told the people, defend yourself. You see, until you live within this territory, you will understand my point. You will understand that certain people have taken it upon themselves that they must wipe away. They believe we are still in the Stone Age of conquering, take over, conquer, take over, conquer, take over. They believe we're still in those Stone Age. They don't believe that we're in the 21st century. So if we're going to deal with this matter as a people, I'm saying that 1 month is enough to put a message to these terrorists. If all of us, like the father of the young man that attacked Johnson and Jackson killed, there are many of our Kanuri brothers. Do you know that parents in Maiduguri, they will bring out their children and say, my child is in Boko Haram, kill him, deal with him. Wow. Do you know that that was the spirit we were seeing in Borno? Before politicians will now take it off and then begin to manipulate it to their own disadvantage, using it to make money. I'm telling you, here on the Plateau, I saw Fulanis who brought their own, some of these headers, and said, look at them, take them. And we did. So if we, the Nigerian people, will be honest with ourselves, take away sentiment, take away this tribal thing. We are Nigerians.
Yeah.
This is what I know. You know, before I am a Kanuri Fulani or Kanuri or Yoruba, what? We are Nigerians. There is this intermarriage. My father fought First World War, Second World War, married somebody from the middle belt of Nigeria. So we are having this blood flowing in us. Kanuri, South, North Central. When you look at all of us, so we are Nigerians.
Yeah.
We should stop this tribal thing. Secondly, we should stop politicizing this thing. It's affecting all of us. These are poor people. The thing that pains me most, Mr. Oluwa, is that these are poor people. Most of these people killed and displaced. They are innocent. They just go about their business. They go about their farm. And then these people sponsored by some Nigerians and international community. They bring in these things in order to displace our people and cause us to go through the pain that we're going through. And at the end of the day, you go to the IDP, you find 3,000, 5,000 in one tent, in their own territory, in their own land. I feel the pain. And all I'm asking is the federal government should give us the liberty. I am ready, even as a clergyman, I'm ready to join with the locals for us to deal with this thing, because all of us Nigerians, we must join. And Nigeria is the only nation we have. Yeah. America is not my country. Britain is not my country. No any other nation is my country. Nigeria is my country. We are politicizing this thing, using it as a religious instrument. Okay, we look at them. Okay, they are Muslims attacking Christians, like what is happening on the Plateau. The majority of the people are Christians. But when we take religion out, any criminal is a criminal, whether it's a Christian or it's a Muslim. Whether it's a Fulani or a Kanuri or Igbo, a criminal is a criminal. Okay. The Bible says, he that kills by the sword shall also die by the sword. We can't be greater than God. Nigeria is in a war. It's a war. I'm saying this because I'm living in the north. I'm living in the north. I feed thousands of people every day. Farmers cannot go to their farm. You have to sponsor children to school. These were not beggars before. They were satisfied. They were farmers. They could go to school. I'm living in the north. I know what my people are going through. And if we're going to deal with it once and for all, the Nigerian state must back the communities to say, we will go along with you. Let's clean up our land. Our Igbo brothers, our Fulani brothers, our Kanuri brothers, who are doing honest business and they have settled in a community, of course, nobody will touch them. But you can't be watching criminals every day. Now, within just 1 week, we have lost 100 people on the Plateau. And you tell me it's normal? You tell me it's headers and farmers clash? No, it's not.
Thank you so much.
People that have declared a war.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Prophet Issa El-Buba, for your voice and for your forthright views. Like you said, Nigeria is all we got, and we will continue to advance and advocate for all of these things to be sorted out. And hopefully, with God helping us, we will have the Nigeria of our dreams. Thank you so much for coming to Inside Sources, Prophet.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me. And thank you, Nigerians. I just want to say this before I go out. Nigerians, let's be sincere with ourselves. Nigeria is the only country we have, and the masses are suffering. The people are suffering. We need to know that we cannot continue to suffer in a land that is blessed by God. We are blessed. We are blessed. We don't need politicians to give us money. Nigeria is blessed to be great. And so I encourage every Nigerian, let's stand for our country. And thank you for what you're doing, Inside Sources. Thank you, channels, for what you're doing. And we appreciate your sacrifice, your labor, and your truthfulness to help Nigerians get informed and also do what is needful. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Prophet Issa El-Buba. You hail from Bono, based in Jos. You do understand the problem very well. Thank you for your views.